referred to and better known as BIGG Brian. I am gay, and I am a professional commercial choreographer and dancer. I also act and have a background in music business. My passion for dance grew through music. When I was in middle school, I started in the band. I picked up the clarinet, and next thing I know, I taught myself the flute, I taught myself the violin, and I taught myself the keyboard. And my band teacher was blown away, like, wow, you're really proficient in music. But I discovered that the thing I love the most about music is just the whole composition of it, including the beat. From there, I started making beats. And that's when dissecting the music and really feeling it from the inception led me to just dance and really dance intricately and with a lot of musicality. So that's always been in me. But I had a very what can we call it? A little bit of a boss attitude. We'll call it bossy. So it was very natural for me, even at 11, 12, 13 years old, to ask my friends, like, hey, can we go to the grocery store on the corner after school? I have a dance I want to teach you. I want to do it on the block. Like, we have a pep rally coming up. We should come up with a routine to show off, and they play a certain song. So I was always very like, you, and you, come over here. Let's get something going. And, very much like that. So yes, my passion for dance definitely came through music first. I decided to continue to pursue music through school. So I moved to Miami from Tampa to go to FIU. Turns out Miami-Dade has a better program. Oops, do I want to say that on camera? Okay, well, either way, I went to Miami-Dade after all. I got my degree there. I continued to network, and that led me to work at the radio station, iHeartRadio, as a matter of fact. I still work with iHeartRadio. But my passion never left me, and I continued to dance. One of the first jobs I booked when I moved to Miami was a music video for Trina. And that's where I met people who are still in the industry to this day that you may know, like Ekandom and iFlow, breakdancing crew, and other well-known dancers in the community. I think the challenges in the industry that you may come across as an LGBT artist, whether you're a dancer or the person behind the camera or just directing, is definitely just going to be ignorance that you have no control over. Like, people are going to have their opinion about you just based on your orientation, if it happens to be something public, whether you like it or not. People have their different upbringings, people have their different beliefs, belief system, different faith, different political background. So all of these things, whether you like it or not, are all mixed into this gumbo we call life. So when you're all out doing these jobs, you are dealing with people who may or may not set those differences aside and may actually let that bleed into their attitude towards you. So I think that's probably the toughest thing as a gay creative, is just when you end up having to, or you need to work with people who can't set their differences aside. But the beautiful thing is, in the creative industry, there are so many of us. You're not getting rid of us. Actually, most of us run the damn show. Some of us in secret. And some of it would be great headlines and juicy news, but you may never know. But yeah, it's beautiful to lean on the people who are tolerant and are not ignorant, and and share love through the creativity. So I think approaching art as a gay man is unique in the sense that I am, although a straight man can do the same, but I have this one-way ticket and really easy dial-in to my feminine side as well as my masculine. That's something that, whether I liked it or not, I had to overcome throughout the years. And not just through dance, but as in life. Especially coming from a background that's a Hispanic background, an extremely Catholic Hispanic background. You know what I'm seeing? Being told things like certain ways of thinking or behaving or living are not right, etc. But still deep down, knowing I know who I am, I know what I like, I know what I'm about. Working and creating and making all of that, developing all of that has been a challenge. But in the end, the gold at the end of the rainbow, pun intended, I guess, or just the light at the end of the tunnel, is when the work is done of you working on yourself, it's a beautiful thing. You have this energy of, I'm gonna tap into my masculine side, I'm gonna tap into my feminine side, I can express myself whichever way I want. Sometimes you'll catch me in the heels class in the heels. And guys take heels class all the time, and not for the heels component, but for the partner work or whatever. You could be a straight man and take a heels class. But I think it is something magical when a guy, especially a gay guy, can turn, you know, all of those characters off and on. It makes you a great performer, you know? Throw you in a drag show or throw you in a Magic Mike show. That's amazing, you know what I'm saying? You just get more books. But my personal style by default is just a commercial choreography sort of style, very open style. I love hip hop, but as a gay man, definitely it is a little bit liberating to go ahead and throw those bourgeois on, and that's the time I get to femme out. You know, we call it, you know, getting cunt. It's nice to throw on the heels and really just go for it. I believe dance is the role that unites and allows the LGBT community to express themselves. I believe dance is the gift. I believe dance is the blessing. I believe dance is the savior. I really honestly mean that. I think dance saves a lot of our lives. A lot of those young gay men who have nowhere else to turn to, they can turn to those 8 counts and that persona, that character, that onstage entity, just that moment. And you can get lost in it because you can be who you were meant to be and who you want to be in those moments of on camera or on stage. That's when you lose yourself and you really are truly yourself. I think the role that dance plays in the LGBT community is the role. I think it's the one. I think dance is what unites us all. Dance is the universal language. Music is, you know, aside from the actual language of what you're hearing, but music and dance are what unites us as humans. So it's pivotal. I do have to give a shout out to some organizations that have opened the door for me, and they didn't necessarily open the door because I'm gay, but they didn't close the door because I'm gay. So there's that. I have to give a huge shout out to people like Janine Thompson, which is an agent at Icon Talent. She was the very first one to book me when I moved to Miami, and she has continued to throw jobs my way. I've been blessed to do things like dance on a music video set with Trina. I worked with The Dream in a mansion in Boca Raton. I mean, I've had some great memories. I've done commercials. I've done acting, not only just dancing on camera, which is super amazing to be able to have someone believe in you like that, and not only believe in you, but not shy away from working with you and or just not work with you at all purposely because you're gay. So that's a beautiful thing. So shout out Janine, shout out choreographers like I said, I really have enjoyed taking Ralph over the years. I mean, he was teaching back when it was Peaches, now it's MIA Dance Factory. And that was the dance class I would take. He was one of the first choreographers that I would go, you know, dance with. And again, he could have very much been like closed or closeted or feeling some type of way about the gays, but he wasn't. Again, very inclusive, very like, you know, feminine out, you know, give it your all. It was about the training. So shout out to Ralph as a choreographer, other choreographers who are very tolerant of us in the LGBT community. Organizations though, we'll say Gigi's Dance Academy, they hired me as a choreographer. Thank you, Gigi. And even though it's in their mission that they are a Christian organization, the company that I've worked, the nonprofit that I've worked with the longest, which was actually 13 years, was the YMCA. And they knew what time it was. They knew I wasn't coming home to a wife and kids. But they still very much hired me as not only someone to care for their children and families during summer camp and after school, but someone to actually teach their children. My very first job ever was choreographer and dance instructor. That was when I was 15 years old at the YMCA, and that was the job I kept the longest. So shout out to the YMCA. Very inclusive, even though they have a very specific Christian background and mission, they still open the door for your boy. Thank you, YMCA. And just any organization or anybody that I've worked with that has been inclusive enough to allow me in, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. So for any one of you who identifies as LGBTQ plus and you're a creative, the sooner, I'm talking about TikTok, the faster you hop on that self-love and you really just you understand yourself, you know yourself, you love yourself, and you're not afraid to express that, especially in your art, the sooner you're gonna feel that return. I mean, a genuine vibe is felt. Like you can't deny someone who is genuine. Like they just give off that aura. And someone, an LGBTQ person who is still like, not necessarily, we'll call it hiding or just are not ready yet. Not necessarily hiding. I don't know if hiding was the best one, but just not ready yet. You know what I'm saying? To express that. It's okay. It's definitely take your time. But understand that the sooner you live your truth, the quicker and faster that you just say, hey, I'm here, I'm queer, okay, we're not going nowhere. I think the sooner you're gonna feel that return, I'm telling you, in your work, in your love life, just in your day-to-day, you're gonna realize, wow, it's, you know, everything is not as like dark and dreary and awful as it seems. I really do have an amazing life to live. So all of you creatives who are gay and either are not sure about it yet or want to be sure about it but aren't quite ready yet, I'm rooting for you. Remember, you're more than your sexuality. You're way more than your sexuality. You are your art, okay? So focus on that. Focus on your art, focus on your love, focus on your passion, focus on loving others, even when they don't understand you. When you lead with love, even to the ignorant folks who just don't know how to, my gosh, that is some power you have in your hands. You have all of the power of the world in your hands when you do that. So hurry up, we're waiting for you. Come on, we have more fun anyways, come on.